Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Galang Buana Gangga with the student number 2510731010. So, I haven't made a video assignment since 2 weeks ago because we just had midterm exam and Mr. Hanafi actually told us that he will give us some time to rest. Actually, these 2 weeks are so boring. I just stay in my dormitory for a whole 2 weeks, maybe going to my friend's dormitory once or twice, but still it's super boring for me. So I got back to the video assignment again. Okay, let's get back to the topic. Uh, have I introduced myself at the start? I kind of forgot. I will just redo it. I'm Galang Buana Gangga with the student number 2510731010. In today's video, we will talk about the first language acquisition, uh, how we get our first language, how a baby, a child get their first native language. So in this topic, it doesn't contain much topic. I'm pretty sure the focusing topic only contain 5 topics, so let's just talk about it. Let's get into the topic. First of all, let's talk about what is language learning itself. Language learning is an ability in our brain, in every human's brain, that we get when we were born so that we can learn a language, we can develop a new language, even though it wasn't directly taught to us. So first, for example, a baby doesn't understand a language when you explain it directly to them. They learn language based on the listening. They listen to you and they learn the language that they hear. Also, they analyze the language themselves and they learn the rules of that language also by themselves, not by from their parents, but by themselves. And every human has this ability. So all of us are actually special. So yeah, do not say that you are not special. You are special. Okay, let's get back to the topic. In the material, it is stated that babies don't learn directly by imitation. They learn by listening to us, by hearing the language, and also by analyzing it by themselves and learning the rules of the language by themselves. And also, babies don't just imitate their parents. They learn the rules by themselves. So yeah, that is language learning. The next one that we will talk is the first language acquisition. It is also called native language, or also some of people say like first language, but I prefer say mother tongue. It is a language that you learn the first time, that you hear the first time, and also that you use the first time for your daily talks. That is your first language. So, for example, if you were born in Indonesia, so you were born as an Indonesian. It means that obviously your first language will be Indonesian. But if your parents were not in Indonesia and they don't use Indonesia that much, that is a different story. If your parents are Indonesian and they speak and they use Indonesian as their daily language, When you are born, obviously you will hear them talk about anything in Indonesia, an Indonesian language. So just by hearing them, you could speak Indonesian. They didn't, well, they would teach you, but you learn by yourself mostly. So yeah, that is the native language of you. This part actually contains three subpoints. The first one is biological. I kind of forgot what the name is, so it contains biological something. Yeah, so in this one, it is talking about that human brain can actually learn just by hearing, not by teach directly to them. You just have to hear a language, and you would uh, you would develop that learn that language by yourselves. So the second sub point is social interaction. So if you want to master your first language, obviously you have to interact with each other using that language. Maybe listening to them or talking to them, like to your friends using Indonesian. If you talk to your friends or maybe to your parents every day using Indonesian, you would be used to that language. That makes you a master of that language. So the last sub point is kind of unique actually. It is, I'm pretty sure it has something, it has to do something with our environment. So if you were born in Indonesia, you are in an Indonesian environment. Most of the people in you around you speaks Indonesian. So obviously your first language will be Indonesian. When you grow up older, you moved out to maybe Australia, so the environment around you changes drastically. Because of the change of environment, your brain adapts to a new language. That is called environment something something. I kind of forgot what the name is. I'm pretty sure it's environment transmission. Yeah, something like that. I kind of forgot about it. Yeah, you get the point. So when you move out to a new environment, you would adapt to that new language very quickly. So that is why if you want to learn a new language, it is the fastest way to learn a new language is to go to that country. For example, if you want to learn Spanish quickly, go to Spain. Fly to Spain and live there for maybe a month or 2 months. You would be fluent in Spain, obviously, because you use them 24 hours, right? So that makes you fluent, not just uh, by courses, but actually from listening directly. You don't have to take courses, just listen to them talk every day. You would understand them. That what's uh, that is the most effective way to learn a new language. So the next point, let's talk about mother race. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called mother race. Or the other name is what is it? The other name is caregiver speech, caregiver talk, caregiver something. So in this point, actually, it is a language that parents use to talk with their babies. That simplified and then repetitive language, that is called caregiver speech or caregiver talk or motherese. Let's just say it as motherese because it's easier to remember. So when you use a language that is slower and clearer and you use it repetitively, it is included into motherese. I will give you an example. For example, if you talk with your baby, like when you read them a book, you would say like, "Ooh, can you see what's that?" And the baby wouldn't respond to you. Maybe he would laugh and smile, but he just doesn't understand you. But you still respond like, "Yeah, it's a rabbit. Good job." Even though he didn't respond to you, but yeah, you still respond back to them by saying that clearly and slowly. That is motherese. This language actually makes baby learn faster because it's clearer and easier to understand for babies. So the next one we have uh, what do we have next? Oh, I'm sorry. The next one we have oh, the language that baby learn before they learn an actual language. Well, it can be called language because it's not an official language. I will give you an example right now. In this topic, they have two: cooing or gooing and babbling. The first one is gooing. Let's just call it gooing. Gooing or and cooing is the same thing, but gooing is. I feel like gooing uh, is more like is used more often than cooing. So when babies make sounds like goo goo gaga, it doesn't have a meaning, but they try to communicate with you. They just learn vowels and consonants, but they don't understand how to use it yet. That is gooing. Meanwhile, babbling, they start to combine those vowels and consonant, but it still doesn't make sense, but it is easier to understand than goo goo gaga. For example, mama, dada. Like, it's still kinda hard to understand, but you get the point. They try to call you mom and dad. So that is babbling. And next point, which is the last point, we have the stages that baby went through to learn a language. There are three stages: the one word stage, the two word stage, and the telegraphic stage. I don't really remember the time, but I will say what I can remember. So the first stage is called one word stage. I'm pretty sure it is from 12 to 18 months or maybe 12 to 16 months, something like that. So you cannot call them babies anymore, right? You call them children if they are more than 12 months old, I think. So yeah. So in this stage, they learn to make one word and they use them to communicate with you, with their parents. For example, if they say like milk or like food, we could understand that they wanted to drink milk and eat some food, and we can make an assumption that they are hungry. So it is easier to understand than cooing and babbling because in these stages they actually use an actual language instead of just making random sounds. So that is the one word stage. The second one is the two word stage. Just like the name, it is when babies use, not baby, children, I'm sorry. It is when children combine two words together to make a sentence. The time period is 18 to 24 months old, I'm pretty sure. In this stage, they start to combine words together, two words. For example, mama, milk. It means that they want a milk. So it isn't easier for us to understand than just using one word, but sometimes it is still quite hard to understand them because they are still little. They are hard to guess, right? So the last stage is telegraphic stage. In this stage, they learn to combine multiple words together to make a sentence, but they still make some grammatical errors. For example, mama, no. Cat drink milk. So he combined three words together, but we can tell that the grammar is wrong, right? Cat drink milk. But even though the grammar is wrong, we can still understand what they are talking about. And this is the last stage actually before they actually learn the language themselves. So after the telegraphic stage, they are supposed to understand the language completely. So yeah, that is about this topic actually. It's not that hard and also not that long. I hope that you can understand what I explained in this video. So thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.